Hey, sixth graders. So, this is lesson 5, session 2. It starts on page 91, and today we are writing and evaluating, aka solving, expressions with exponents. We're doing math problems with exponents today. Kendra, here's your Triad Problem. Kendra posts a photo on her social media account. In the first hour, 2 friends share the photo. In the second hour, each of those friends have 2 friends share the photo. This pattern continues. Every hour, each person has 2 more people share the photo. How many people share the photo in the 6th hour? So this is a really good one for you to pause and try to solve on your own, and then come back to me, see how I solve it. So go ahead. Okay, let's draw this out and see if we can't find a pattern here. So, Kendra shares a photo. In the first hour, she has 2 friends share the photo. In the second hour, each of those friends has 2 friends share the photo. I'm going to space that out more. Not much more. There we go. In the third hour, each of those friends has 2 friends share the photo. It must be a pretty cute photo. Okay, this is only the third hour. Let's see if we can find a pattern so far. That'll help us out. We've got first, the original image is 1. The first hour has 2. The second hour has 1, 2, 3, 4. The next hour has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, so far we've got a pattern here of times 2, times 2, times 2. Let's see if that pattern holds up one more time, and if it holds up one more time, it'll give us a little shortcut there. So, in the 4th hour, each of those friends has 2 friends share the photo. Let's see if the pattern holds up. If the pattern holds up, this should be 16, right? 16, because that's times 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. So we don't really need to draw the rest, do we? We just need to go first hour, second hour, third hour, 4th hour, 5th hour, times 2. That's going to be 32. And then 6th hour, it's going to be that times 2, it's going to be 64. There we go. Okay, let's see if that holds true over here. Oh, would you look at that? They did it the same way I did it. What a shiny coincidence. So we've got Kendra, and in the first hour, there's 2. In the second hour, there's 4. In the third hour, there's 8, and the pattern continues with, let's see, 8 times 2, and the pattern will continue. Yada yada yada. You get the point. The second model is to use powers. So they've written out this whole table to show you powers. So, in the first hour, hour 1, 2 people share it, so that's 2 to the power 1. In the second hour, 2 more people share it, that's to the power of 2. The third hour, we've got 3 groups of 2 now, so that's to the power of 3. The 4th hour, we've got 4 groups of 2 now, so that's to the power of 4. The 5th hour, we've got 5 groups of 2 now, so that's the 5th hour. What is going to go here? Gee, I wonder. The 6th hour, we have 6 groups of 2. So that is going to be 2. Oh, why am I using my highlighter? Shame on me. 2 to the 6th power. So notice the exponent represents repeated multiplication. That's what we're doing. Repeated multiplication. Number 1 over here on page 93, look at the tree diagram in the picture. How many dots would there be in the row for hour 4. What did we put up on ours up here? We actually did it up here, didn't we? We did 16. Yep, 16. 16. It says explain. We cannot forget the explain. That part is important. 16 because I'll type it for you. 16 because each dot for the third hour would split into 2, so you multiply 8 times 2, which is 16. There we go. Number 2, explain how to use the number of people shown by one row of the tree diagram to find the number of people in the next row of the tree diagram. Well, it's kind of the same answer, isn't it? Each person splits into 2, so multiply by 2 to get the next line. There you go. Number 3, now we're thinking about the table in the model. Write the number of people who share the photo in the 6th hour as a power of 2. How many people share the photo in the 6th hour? So if you recall, that was 2 people times 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 2 people. That's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 2 to the 6th power. Repeated multiplication 6 times, which we already discovered was 64. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, 32 times 2 is 64. Number 4, Alexis finds the value of 2 to the 6th power by writing 4 times 4 times 4. Xavier, so let's look at each one. Alexis will be purple. She does 4 times 4 times 4. That's Alexis. Xavier does 2 to the 6th by writing 8 times 8. Both are fine. Why? Okay, well, let's write this out. Alexis is doing, I'm already on highlighter. She took the 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and what she did here, it looks like, is she did 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4. So she did that kind of tree thing going on. Let's see if Xavier did the same thing. Again, with the 2 times 2, we got to do the 6 times because this is to the 6th power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now he did 8 times 8. Ooh. So what he did was he did 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So he multiplied these groups of 3 together first. And either way, it's going to be 64. So that's why both expressions are correct. You can just illustrate it out. That's fine. Number 5, write the number of people who share the photo in the 9th hour as a power of 2. How do you know what number to use as the exponent? Well, because we were using the 6th hour, has a 6 as the exponent, so the 9th hour is going to have a 9 as the exponent. Okay, but now we have to have the number of people who share the photo in the 9th hour as a power of 2. Okay, we don't have to actually solve it, do we? But how, it does ask us how we know, so we want to put how we know. That's the important part. How do we know? So the exponent, and that's 9, exponent's that little number, exponent is the number of times 2 is used as a factor. Remember, the factor is the number in the multiplication problem. So 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 and 3 are the factors. 6 is the product. So the exponent is the number of times 2 is used as a factor. In the 9th hour, 2 is used as a factor 9 times. 2 times 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 2. It's to the power of 9. Okay, this one's for you to answer. Think in your head, what out of all that we've done so far helped you understand this lesson the best? It's really important to reflect, so pause, write that down, and then come back to me and we'll do 3 practice problems. Okie dokie. So let's do these 3 practice problems on page 94 together. First one, which expression is equivalent to 7 times 7 times 7 times 3 times 3? And I want you to notice it says which expression, it's singular. Sometimes it'll say which expressions, and that means there's probably more than one. So make sure you are paying close attention. Oops, to that. I lost where I was. Nope, come back. Okay, so this is 7 to how many, what's the, to the power of what? 7 to the power of 3. And then we have 3 to the power of what? Well, that's 3 to the power of 2. And then in between here, we still have this multiplication symbol. So we're just going to bring that down. Okay, so where is that on here? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. It's that one. Hooray, we found it. There we go, pretty simple. Okay, ooh, evaluate n to the third when n is 2/3. Okay, so we've got n to the third here. N to the third. But we already know what n is. It says n is 2/3. So I'm going to take out n, and I'm going to replace it with 2/3. So what this is telling me is that this is actually 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3 to the third power. So we're going to multiply it 3 times. And you already know how to multiply fractions. You just multiply the numerator. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 6. Nope, it's not 6. Don't put 6. It's 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Then on the bottom, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And you are lucky duckies because that number cannot be reduced. So that is your final answer, 8/27. Okay, last one together, and then you're on your own. On the Lucky 5 game show, Troy wins $5 if he answers one question correctly. Each time he answers another question correctly without making a mistake, the amount of money he wins is multiplied by 5. Troy answered 6 questions correctly. I'm going to underline these numbers. $5 per question. Each time he gets one correct, that number is multiplied by 5. Troy answers 6 questions correctly without making mistakes, so 6 in a row. His winnings are represented by the expression 5 to the 6th power. Look, they already gave it to you. That was very charitable of them. So how much money does Troy win? Show your work. Okay, so this is 5 to the 6th power, so we need to multiply 5 6 times by itself. Okay, now remember the way that what were their names? What were these people's names? Alexis and Xavier solve this a few different ways. So you can do 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. 125 times 5, you can do it that way. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do 25. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25. And then I'm going to do 25 times 25. I'll do that over in the corner over here. 25 times 25. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. I cannot do this, I cannot work with this 2 over here until I put a 0 for placeholder here. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So that's 625. So now we've got 625 times 25. I've got to do that one again. I can't do that in my head. So I'll do that now over here. 625 times 25. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, 11, 12. Carry the 1. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Now I've got to use a 0 for placeholder before I can use this 2 right here. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 6 is 12. That was used before. Don't get confused. 12. Add that all together. 5, 2, 6, 5, 1. He will win. Whoa, where's everything going? Get out of here. He will win $15,625. Good for Troy. Good job. Okay, so that's it for lesson 5, session 2. Go ahead and do your green pages, and good luck.